Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm pulling from you guys. I need your energy to help me through this one. I've been detailing cars and getting out of cars and speaking and driving 7 and 8 hours to be here, guys. Today, I just want to say, first off, I would like to express my gratitude to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for the opportunity to be here today to speak to you guys. I'm just so thankful. I'm humble to be here, to have this opportunity. I don't take it lightly at all. Man, God been like just blowing my mind. Like, He's been taking me places that I didn't think an inner city kid, coming up in the hood, that's the place, that's not the place I'm supposed to be at. Speaking to corporations and, speaking to teams and all over the place. But, I'm a firm believer that if you take what He gave you, and you use it, then He'll turn around. Like, it's just like making lemonade. You take that lemon, and you take that lemon, God's gonna allow you to make lemonade with it. So I've just been using what he has given me to pour into people. Today, guys, I just want to reflect back. A couple weeks, I've been working with Campbell University. Some of you guys may be familiar with Campbell University, their baseball team and their basketball team. And it blew my mind. I was with Delta. Delta always do me good. We always book all our flights with Delta. And we got on the plane, and usually what happens is I get on the plane, for some reason, I end up on the back of the plane. And I'm kind of mad about that. It's like, I'm sitting on the back like I'm supposed to be up front. And so on this very day, I got the opportunity to move closer to the front. And I'm excited, I'm pumped up. I'm thinking we about to play Florida State. That's how excited I was. I got on the front, and that's the exit row. That's the row between the coach and first class. And so I'm looking up front. I'm on the front. I put my legs out, and I'm just thinking and reading and writing my next book. And they started coming through with the little snacks, little buggy, with the little peanuts and the little water, little drinks and the pretzels. And I started looking forward because they came towards me and they came with the little pretzels. And I'm tired of the pretzels, for real. I'm tired of the little bit of bag of pretzels, the little water and stuff. So they come towards me, and man, I looked out from the distance and I saw the lady, she come out with the cart like, boom, I'm here. She rolled her cart looked different. Like she got the whole meals on her cart. I'm mad, because she come towards me, she started giving them their stuff. Then she come a little bit towards me, she give them their stuff. And as she gets closer, I'm like, I'm hoping, like for real, I'm hoping that as she gets closer, she'll have some more of those left. Like I'm looking out from the distance, I get the pretzels. The first class got the big chips, they got the sandwich, you know what I'm saying, what do you want, sir? They give them that great gratitude, and they get closer and closer to me. And the basket started going on a little bit more. As they got to the row before me, they had like about 10 more chips. Like she had more than enough, about 10 more chips. And I reached out to her and I said, ma'am, like the little kid back in the day, you asked your mom for something in the candy store. Like, can I get the Starburst? And mom like, no, you can't get it. So I'm reaching out to them. I'm happy because like they got some more left on the buggy. So I'm like, I know she got it. I know she gonna hook me up. So I reach out to her and I asked her, I got the pretzels. Keep in mind, I got the little pretzels. I said, can I have that big bag of chips you got? Can I have that big bag of chips you have? Can I have that big bag of pretzels? Can I have that sandwich that you have? I know you got more than enough. Can I have that? She said, there's certain things that we give to the people that's sitting in the coach. She said, there's certain things that we can't give to the people that's sitting in the coach. She said, this is a snack that's meant for first class. And it killed me, guys. You gotta understand. I wanted that snack, like for real. But she said, because you're in the coach, you can receive it. And there's some things you want in life right now, and you're trying to get in this greatness, but you're giving average effort. There's some things you want in your relationship, but you're giving just enough in your marriage. You're giving 20% and 30%. Like you want your marriage to blow up, you want it to blossom. You want your business to blow up, but you're giving average effort, and you're reaching out, and you're asking God to give you greatness, and you stuck in the coach. So today, guys, my attempt is to take you from the coach, to take you to first class. Like you're supposed to have it. You're the chosen one. You're supposed to have life. He said life and life more abundantly. Not for us to be average, not for us to give average effort, not for us to be a public success and a private failure, like our business blowing up, but our wife at home, she mad, like she ain't getting no attention. We blowing up as a business, but then my husband is not getting the attention. Like we blowing up, we focusing on the business, but we're a public success and we're a private failure. So guys, my attempt is to take you from the coach today and to get you into first class because you deserve it, like you can have it. You can be it. Like your business, like you looking at your business like B. You gotta understand, B, we pushing millions. I want you to know that millions is not enough. Like it's a whole other level. So I want to take you to that level today. If you'll start the PowerPoint for me. I go to snacks. That wasn't good enough. See, go back. I want y'all to see this. Go back. Come on, Trill. work with Trill. Don't get mad at me. Work with Trill. And I was trying to see something, because I was trying to describe what the picture does it best. My man got the whole snack, the sandwich and everything, the big, like they got everything on this side, and then that's what I was receiving. Like I'm tired of receiving that. And so I tried to paint the picture to you guys that that's what they give it in the coach. That's what they give it to average individuals. There's enough average individuals in the world that sit around like, well, I'm from, they sit around there waiting on government assistance, like bring the check to me. So I want to get you guys to that level. That's the level we want to get to. And so if you go to the next slide, grandma's gumbo. Like my grandma, she passed last year, and I dedicated my whole life to helping her, serving her, and taking care of the home care. Like since the injury happened with the Buccaneers, I had the opportunity to go back and, kind of pour back into her. Every single day I woke up and I just poured back into my grandma. But grandma make the best gumbo in the world. Like we from Mobile, so it's New Orleans, that Creole taste in it. See, grandma had me fooled because I thought that, she come out and early in the morning, she start early. Like when she get on her gumbo, she started early in the morning with it. But I thought, when I got home, it was dinner. Like I'm like, where the pot at? Go up in there, bam, food. So I thought that, it was a quick process. I thought it was a quick deal. You just throw the vegetables in there, you put your flour in there, you just go buy a couple more items, throw it all in there. But then I came home one day, grandma started at 8, she ended by 2 o'clock. I'm like, whoa, this is taking too long. So when my grandma passed, I went back, I told my mom, I said, let's make some famous gumbo. Let's attempt to do this, let's do it. So we started. And we got to the part where you bring out the flour. Some of y'all old school cookers, y'all may know what I'm talking about. You bring out the flour, like grandma don't go and buy the flour, like grandma make her flour. And she would stir it a little bit, then she'll sit down, read her newspaper, then she'll get back up, she'll stir it a little bit more. And so I'm thinking, when we started, I was like, I'm gonna stir it, we're gonna dump this in and it's a wrap. So I started stirring around about 9 o'clock, and I ended up stirring around about 1 o'clock. Like I didn't know. Mom up there, like you see my fingers right now, I got all kinds of like burns on my hand. My mom told me, she said, you going on back up and down, like you ain't got it together. See, I thought it was just gonna be an easy, quick process. And some of you guys right now, like you want to be great. Like you deserve to be great. You want to be great. But I want you to know greatness takes time. Greatness takes time. So today, I want you to dial into the process. It's a process that they take. When you think about a man and a woman, they meet right at that point, they get ready to get married. You think about that. That's a covenant. That's time. It takes a process. Most people think, you get married, you go out to the sunset, honeymoon, everything gonna be good. No, it's work. It's a process that you go through to reach greatness. So today is about the process. And then give me the next slide. Today is about the process. The first thing I want to ask you guys is, how do you view it? How do you view it? It's not just on the regular motivational deal. When you leave, like you gotta think different, like for real. Like I came here, I got through detail. I'm like, I gotta be here, Trip. Is this right? I gotta be here. Drove all night on out. Nobody with me. Like my cousin, I brought him with me. He sleep the whole time. I'm like, man, you left me out. I'm falling asleep at the wheel. I want to ask you, how do you view it? I went last night, was talking to one of my boys, and we was going through a certain thing. And he was telling me about this guy named Ben Underwood. So I went back and did my research. I stayed up all night. He thought I was going to go to the room to get on that average stuff, go to sleep. Nah, I'm a line, I hunt all day. And so I went back to the room. I started watching the story. This story blew my mind. Like my man Ben at a young age, Ben had both eyes removed. Like he had cancer in both eyes, so they had to remove him. And so I remember after his surgery, his mom came up to him, his mom just said, Ben, he said, Mom, I'm blind, what am I gonna do? I'm blind. She looked at him and she instantly told him, she said, no, you're not blind. She said, feel my hands, you can see with your hands. Feel my nose, you can see with your nose. She began to introduce him to so many different things about himself that he didn't know. So my man, no, he's shooting basketball, he riding the bikes. God rest his soul, he just passed a couple years ago, but riding bikes. They wonder, like, how you doing pillow fighting? He dodged like Floyd Mayweather. See, what happened is, guys, is he left the natural and went into the supernatural. And the way that things happen in life is you have to get to a point where you can see it. First off, you have to get to a point where you begin to speak it. Whatever you're going through in your life, like you got to speak to that mountain. Mountain, you have to move. My man started speaking. His mom introduced him to a whole other level. Like he didn't know he had this in him. Like you ask him now, you probably got a chance to ask Ben now. You ask Ben, what is blind? Ben said, I don't even know what blind is. Because since the womb, even though I had those little limitations, my mom, she spoke it into my life that you can see it. She spoke it. She said, you can see. And then you introduce yourself. You go from see it You go from see it, right? Then you begin to think it. See, he began to think, now, all right, I can see, I have vision. I know I can see with my nose, I can see with my eyes. So when he gets to areas like this, he don't hit those areas, he just walk around them because he can see it, right? So he went from, his mom went from talking into his life, beginning to speaking into his life, to now he can see it, he can actually think it. And in order for you guys to take your business to the next level, you have to begin to speak it. And so then now, once you speak it, once you begin to speak it, then it'll become a thought process in your mind. Now you can think it, now you can believe it, and you begin to go towards it. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? You begin to speak it, then you go to think it, and then after that, guys, this is the great part. This is the great part. It introduces you to that opportunity where you go from see it, you go from think it, then you go into that level of changing the world. See it, think it, change the world. Think about it. If he would have looked at his current circumstances, like somebody here, I feel somebody here like you battling for real, like you putting on the front of your people at the job, but for real, like you on some stuff that I was on, you on some suicidal stuff, like you don't think that it's a whole other level. You don't know that on the other side of that mountain is peace. You don't know that on the other side of that mountain is a whole other opportunity. You don't even know why you do it. I think that's my next slide. Let's just go to that slide. What is your purpose? Why do you even do what you do? Why do you do what you do? When you wake up in the morning time, see businesses fail, athletes fail, so many people fail because they don't even know why they're up. Like you're waking up like it's an accident. It's not an accident. You're waking up like God had to wake you up, like for real, like I am the Savior. You wake me up. That's how you waking up every morning. You don't really look at your purpose. What's your why? I challenge you, you leave this place to write down, what's your why? What's your purpose? Why do you do what you do? If you're a CEO, your whole company needs to know, why do you even do it? Because if they know why you do it, then they're going to adopt that. They're going to take those values, they're going to take those morals, and they're going to uphold that every single day when they show up at work. Because you important in them, you introduce them to their why. So B, what's your why? You telling us about the why. What's your why? You got to understand at a young age, I lost my father when I was 2 years old. My mom got introduced to my stepfather when I was 4 years old. Like, my man changed my world. I'm standing in a 2-bedroom house with 15 people in the hood. Drugs, gun violence. The typical story. Like, I don't want no pity story. You ain't got to go out and pray for Brandon. Man, please, I ain't coming for a pity story. I come to tell you the truth. So I'm in that 2-bedroom house, and I remember walking in the kitchen. And I told my mom, I told them at a young age. See, my man, he came into my life. He introduced me to football. He was like, bro, look here. It's deeper than what you think it is. Like, I'm about to introduce you to something that's going to change your life. I'm like, yeah, I get a chance to play with Ray Lewis. I get a chance to play at Clemson. Like, I'm thinking at that point about Clemson. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I saw him on TV. I like the pop. He looked good. So at that point, I'm telling my mom, I say, Mom, when I make it to the NFL, like for real, with conviction. Like, I'm not looking at my current circumstance. I'm not looking outside saying, all right, they just shot an old boy right here. Like, all right, how can I break this down where you can understand? It's March, right? It's March. My month's all messed up. It's March, and at least 15 teens has been killed, homicide in Mobile, Alabama. So I want y'all to get the environment. Not down in a bashing my city, but I'm being real as possible. It's March, and at least 15 teens has been already like buried. You know, think about that area that I'm living in at this point. You know, you walk through the alley, you may see this guy on top of this girl, and he raping her. I got 3 sisters. That's deep to me. You look across the street, you see all kinds of dog fights. You pick up the newspaper, you got gun violence. You guys may know some of that here in the city. But I'm telling my mom, when I make it to the NFL, you never want for nothing. So I began to work, I began to grind. I would stay up every single night as a young kid, and I would do push-ups until I failed. And they wonder, why do you do push-ups till you fail? Because I know one day when life throw me a punch, that punch won't be bigger than this failure that I'm going through tonight. So I would do push-ups for failure every single night because I wanted something. I told my mom, when I make it to the NFL, you would never want for nothing. That's my why, that's my purpose, that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm here. So I went on, I grind, I put in the work. My teachers told me, you're going to be a high school dropout, you're going to sling dope, you're going to eventually get killed. So my high school coaches said he'll be lucky to ever even walk on the field at this school, let alone start here, son. You don't have what it takes. So I'm looking at them like, all right, Mom, let's do something. Mom looked at me for real. She like, all right, we're going to hire trainers. So I started training with the football team, training by myself, and then training again at night. I put in 3 days of just hell every single day. 3 days of hell in one day. Every single day, like I'm out there trying to die. Some of y'all ain't really willing to die for your family. Like for real, you're not willing to die for your company. You talk about it, it look good on social media, Instagram, do it for the mind, selfie. It look good to you, but are you for real willing to die for it? So it's the NFL draft. I'm gonna jump ahead because I feel like we gotta be pressed for time. I got a whole lot of stuff I want to get to. But this is the NFL draft, and I played at Clemson. I was an All-American there. Had a great time there. I was like 3-4 people behind when I first got there. I was a 2-star recruit. Like he in the last rush. I'm the one that come out there with the jersey had 1-0-0. Like I'm looking like a rock guy. I'm like, coach, I'm on scholarship. Come on, give me at least the number 1. Just put 1 down in the middle of something. Put 0. Give me 0. So I worked my way up. I beat out 3 seniors. Got the opportunity to start at Clemson. And people would look on the field. They say, why did Brandon Maye play with so much passion? Why did he go so hard? Despite any injuries that I had, I gave every single thing I had to that. Nobody can say, even though I transferred and everything happened with that situation, nobody can say that Brandon made a show up every single day. You ask Coach Sweeney right now. He said we need more of him. We need more of him. That's why he bring me back, because I took advantage of the opportunity. Some of y'all right now, like your business, you're a salesperson or something, and you looking all over the place. You have the opportunity right there in front of you. You master that one opportunity. God has given you a gift, you use that gift. Stop looking and comparing everybody else's gift. He gave 5 gifts, he gave 4 gifts, he gave 3 gifts to a man. The man with 5 gifts, he went and he used it. The man with 4 gifts, he went and he used it. The man with 3 gifts, he said, no, I'm gonna hold on to it. I don't think you got no more gifts for me. So he came to him, he asked me, he said, I need you to return that. I'm gonna give it to the one with 5 and 3 gifts because he used it. He used what he had. So you gotta use what you got to get what you want. Like for real, it don't line up with me being there. Like for real, I use what I had to get what I want. So the NFL draft night, I made the transfer over. My grandma had congestive heart failure. We getting that, man. If you don't get anything else, you have to get this. It's the NFL draft night, and it was crazy for me. I moved my water by myself. It's the NFL draft night, and the first round of the draft come, the second round of the draft come, the third round of the draft come, the fourth come, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. I got my whole family here. Like I'm the one, like I put them on my back. I'm the one that's gonna rescue my family. I'm the one that told my mom at 4 years old, I said, Mom, when I make it to the NFL, you'll never want for nothing. The 7th round come, and the draft end. I thought because of my body work at Clemson, being rated as number 3, number 4 linebacker in the country as a junior, I thought that would at least, even though I hurt my Achilles when I got to Mississippi State, I thought that would at least push me out there and I get an opportunity. And the draft ends. So I remember being in the yard, and I'm looking at my mom. I want to be real with you guys. I don't want to be fake. You know, some of you guys may go away and be like, oh, B was real. You know, that's what I want. When I come out, I'll be real. I remember standing in the yard and I looked at my mom and I said, I hate you. You put me in this to break my heart. I told my dad, I said, I hate you. I told you guys, that's the guy that stepped into my life. I got 3 sisters. That's their biological father, not my biological father. So he put it upon himself because he's a real man to say, I'm going to use the game of football to get this guy an education. At this point, I had a master's degree and I'm standing in the yard and I'm telling him, I hate you. I got in the car and I began to drive by my middle school, drove by my elementary, drove by my high school, and I come upon the bridge. We're talking about broken guys. I know somebody here right now, like it's deeper than some motivational speaking. Somebody here, you broken, like you like, man, I've been showing up every single day. I've been giving everything I got. Everything I got, I've been giving it to this company. Everything I got, I've been giving it. Every single day I give it to my wife, I give it to my husband. I give it. And you at that point where I was at. I remember pressing the gas pedal, finna drive off the bridge. Like, guys, I wanted to give up on life. And my car cut off. Man, when my car cut off, guys, you gotta understand, when my car cut off, I thought about it. God, what is it that I can do now? I didn't know my purpose. What is it that I do now, God? Tell me. What is it that I do? I remember getting back in the car, and I started driving to the house. And my mom said, if it's his will, it'll be done, but the purpose is bigger. That kept me right there. She said, if it's his will, it will be done, and the purpose is bigger. Got the call from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got in there the next morning, found out I had to have Achilles reconstructive surgery, 10-hour surgery. And God said, now is the time. Now is the time for you to use it, B. And I didn't want to hear him at the time. He said, now is the time for you to do it. Now is the time for you to travel the country. Now is the time for me to introduce you to your real calling and your real true purpose. And I begin to write. I begin to write with a cast on my leg. Standing in the room, my mom said, this guy needs some psychological help. Because every morning I leave, he's up and he's writing. I was willing to almost die. I'm going to be real. I was willing to almost die writing that book. And I wrote a book in a month. Like I had Arthur in me, but I was about to give up. Because of the obstacle, because of the mountain that I came upon. I was about to give up for real. And I wrote that book in a month. And I began to speak, began to get introduced to my purpose, my calling. Guys, why I tell you that story? I tell you that story because as a business owner, you're going to have days where it looks like it's so hard, where you really want to give up. Maybe somebody in here in your business, like you had a goal, like I got to hit this goal, and you didn't hit that goal. Maybe your funds got depleted, and you got to get back up and you got to get going. Maybe your company is not operating like you wanted to operate, and you got to go every single day. You got to show up and you got to have the same energy, the same passion, because you know your energy is contagious to the people that you're working with. But for real, behind closed doors, I'm hurt. I tell you that story to let you know, guys, that this is just the beginning. If you still breathing, and it looks like everybody's still breathing there, if your heart is still beating, if you still got breath in your body, like be grateful, be thankful, and show up every single day with your A game. Next slide. Next slide, next slide after that. I want you to understand something. Pain is temporary. Pain is temporary. And I'll read this to you. Les Armstrong said, pain is temporary. It may last a moment. It may last a minute, or an hour, or a day, or a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If you quit, however, the pain will last forever. What is it, guys? What is it, guys, that's going to take the place of whatever obstacle you're going through? For me, it was I became an author. I became a speaker. Like, I wanted to just come in today and give you guys. As a matter of fact, I had a whole other route, but God said, no, you got to go ahead. You got to give them this. What's going to take the place of what you're going through? What's going to take the place, guys? Because it's life. You're going to go through things. Lost my grandma last year. My heart, like, dear to me for real. Then I lost my aunt about 2 months ago. Every single Friday, we show up. Me and my aunt, we look at each other. We pray for 45 minutes to an hour. I lost all my foundation. And God said, will you still trust me? Will you still believe that I called you to have life and life more abundantly? Will you go to Greenville, South Carolina and show up as if they have paid you $1 million and pour it to them like you have never poured it to them before? Will you do it? Or will you chicken out? Will you say, oh, self-pity, I got to drive. I just finished detailing. I got a detailing company, so I just finished detailing cars. Will you believe that when you go there, you're going to plant a seed? Do you believe that that little seed, that little acorn, that when I plant that seed, just think about that for a second, that little acorn, that little seed, how can that grow this big old tree? Years and years of watering it. It's a process, guys. It's a process. You're going through the process, but what you cannot do in the process, you cannot compromise. You got to go through. Everybody want to wake up and get the prize. Like Clemson. I told Clemson, I said, I know you probably know the prize. You want to be in the national championship game. But it's a process that you go through that the fans don't even see. Blood, sweat, and tears is required. It's a process that you go through in your marriage to be successful. Everybody can have an average marriage. It look good when you come around your friend. Hey, Barbara, yeah. You have fun, and they go to all the mixers and everything, and then behind closed doors, y'all fight. And they ain't even like on that point for real. But they look good to everybody else. Everybody can talk about their business at the mixture. But for real, behind closed doors, who are you? When nobody's watching. Nobody was watching me at 4 years old when I was in there doing the push-ups. But I was able to look at the natural. The natural say, B, Maye, look him. It ain't gonna happen. It's not possible. It's snapping to the supernatural. That's been able to leave your body and say, even though my circumstances look like this is not the end. Some of us, we put a period where God want to put a comma at. You put an end to where he started something great. I don't know why he's leading me this way, but somebody needs to hear this. It's a whole nother level. I know you're a multi-millionaire. You're so deep. You're too deep for yourself. But do you stand for the right things? if it was all over with today, who will you be? What are you made of? That's what they asked us. My grandma, she lasted 10 days. Make the story short. 10 days. They said she's supposed to be gone in 48 hours. She was palliative care. And the doctors coming out to their amazement, she's still there the 10th day, the 15th day, to be honest with you. And they asked us a question. They said, what is she made of? My mom looked down like, they don't really know. Like, she tapped me on the shoulder like, they don't really have a clue. She raised like 10 kids, 15, let me get it right. She raised, because grandma may be mad at me in heaven, like you said it wrong. She raised like 12 kids by herself in the same environment. And so that's my why, guys. That's my purpose. And so when they ask us, what is she made of? You don't know. When you cut her open, when you get cut open, if somebody cut you open right now, what would you really be made of? Stop acting like you for real deep. Who are you for real on the inside? You have an opportunity to make up your DNA. The process actually makes up your DNA. So as you go through the process, many people don't want to do what I do. Like for real, see, I know that at the end, it's a blow up. Like I'm gonna blow up. That ain't no doubt in my mind. Some of y'all hoping and y'all wishing. When are you gonna say, I know? You going into your business deal. Matter of fact, stay out the business deal. You going in and saying, all right, I already know that it's gonna, I don't know, I'm not sure that it's gonna blow up. When are you gonna get to the point where you say, I know and I deserve. I deserve to be here. I'm not here like it's an accident. I deserve to be here. I know there's speakers out there right now, and they so deep that everybody in the room is asleep. But then when I come in, you thinking different, you operating different. I know I deserve. So when football ended, I just got to introduce my real true purpose and calling. I know. So when I do it with passion. If you're not going to do it with passion, don't do it at all. I know I'm going to go speak to Fortune 500 companies. It may not add up. All right, you got tattoos, red out. It may not add up to them, but I know and I deserve. I ain't hoping and wishing. I know where I come from. You got to tell me that. 2 barrels of 15 people. Most of the people in my family high school dropouts. How can I go to Clemson University and compete with people that was valedictorians of their class? Because I know. So when you put me in the classroom, I show up and I outwork you. I don't care if I'm a freshman and seniors in front of me. I know I deserve. I don't care if my competitors out here and they trying to outsell me. I know I deserve. So when you say, B, take the products, go ahead and knock on some doors, I know that I'm going to out-knock you. Like for real, like you knocking on the door, like, I hope they answer. I'm like, boom, answer. Because I'm hungry. And when you're hungry for something, and when you're desperate for something, you're willing to put it all on the line. You're willing to show up every single day, and you're willing to do something, guys. You're willing to burn the ship. You're willing to burn the ship. Some of you got ships. You got ships in your life. Like, let's be real. What do you mean, B? Ships. You got ships in your life. You got an opportunity. Well, matter of fact, not even an opportunity. As a matter of fact, it's like cars and it's like average. When you have a ship comes behind you, and you're going off and you're going to fight a mission. I remember reading the story, Burn the Ship. You're going off, you're fighting a mission. You look at the obstacle, it's 5-1 when you get off the ship. And your mind is saying, all right, go back. They went over to conquer Mexico, and their mind was saying, no, just go back. For real, it's 5-1. Get back on the ship. My man looked at his guys, and he said, look here, do me a favor. I know what you're saying. I know they look like the obstacle or whatever it is too big. He stuck his sword in this guy's chest, and he said, do me a favor. He said, I need you to take these 2 torches. I got 2 torches. You see these 2 ships we came over here on? He said, I need you to take these torches, and I need you to burn the ship. What do you mean? Oh no, we don't have a way out of here. What do you mean, burn the ship? He said, didn't I tell you to burn the ship? He looking at him like, man, didn't I tell you for real? Like, no laugh, like, didn't I tell you? I ain't playing with you. I know what we came over on. We came here on a mission to conquer Mexico. But when we got off, all right, it's 3 of us, it's 5 of them, it's 6 of them, 7 of them, 10 of them. It's double. David and Goliath type of story. They got ready to turn around. 2 guys went and burnt the ship. Bam, ship's down. They got ready to turn around. They look at the man. They look at their guys and they say, oh man, we up. Or what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? They begin to get the panic when we say, you got 2 options for real. He said it's either success or it's die. And some of you guys, you got so many ships in your life. You got so many what else, just in case. So many escapes go. You chose to be an entrepreneur. You chose to be a business owner. I didn't choose it for you. You chose it. So what you gonna do now? You turn around, ain't no more ships back there. So you can't run. You get to that point in life, where everything that's behind you, you're just gonna go ahead like that's a just in case mode. There are no more options. When you get to that point in life, I'm an entrepreneur, I chose to be an entrepreneur, so every single day, B, you got a master's B, you need to go out, you need to get a job. No, I chose to be an entrepreneur, this is what I'm called to do, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna dominate. There is no go backs. Burn the ships, turn around, and they fight, and they take over Mexico. Just think about it. That they mind, they're like, oh my God, I get off the ship, there's so many people, I gotta turn around and retreat, we don't have enough people. You may be with your company, you may look to the right, you may look to the left. And you say, these the guys I gotta go to battle with? These are the guys, for real, this is Sally, Sally, he's not the ideal person I want to go to battle with. You may be saying that to yourself, but that's all you got. So you take Sally, and you use Sally to get where you're trying to go. Whoever it is, I don't know, I just threw a name like that. Maybe it's Bob, or maybe it's Brandon that's sitting next to you like, B, I don't think I want to go to battle with you. I don't know if somebody here may want to go to battle with me. He looked at me and said, burn the ship, burn the ship, burn the ship. So guys, I conclude, I see all kinds of people like looking at me, they're like, time. I see them on the side of the line, but come on, I see him to move over here. I see him saying, time, go back. Man, I tell you, I drove 7 hours a week, I want all of it. No, but it's time to burn the ships, and what happens is when you burn the ship, you enter desperation. And when you're in desperation, when Trip call you up, like, B, this is the budget, I need you to get here, you know what I'm saying? It don't really line up for you, I'll be honest. But you like, nah, I only get one shot, I only get one opportunity. If I leave this place, this is the opportunity. This is what they're gonna remember me for. So I burnt the ships and I got my butt here. Because I know when I get here, it's a seed gonna be planted. Somebody may hit me up like, hey, come speak to my talk. Nah. But you're holding yourself back because you got the ships. And you at a place now where you got so many just in cases in your marriage. Like you got something going on the side, so just in case you want to mess up, like I got something going on the side. Burn the ships, guys, and enter desperation. You can have it, you can be it, whatever you want, whatever you desire. Your kids, your relationship, whatever you want, you have to call, you are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. You are chosen to be in this room today to eat. Burn the ships, guys. Enter desperation. That's my time. May God bless you.